See individuals on a subway being terrorized by individuals in masks. It's a cause for great concern.
No! After years of propaganda of forcing people to wear masks, New York wants to ban them. What's up, my beautiful freedom-loving friends? Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel. This is where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. You know how seeing someone's face connects you to their humanity or lack of humanity in the case of a criminal, which in the olden days, only criminals wore masks, so you could identify them as such, but then they forced the sheep to dress like criminals, and it's kind of like, it's really good cover for criminals, whether it's a protest or subway or really any crime you want to commit in a major city. Now, leftist New York Governor Kathy Hochul and leftist New York City Mayor Eric Adams are wanting to ban masks on subways because, well, citizens are just getting friggin' pummeled, and we're like, we can't find the criminals. Not that we would prosecute them if we found them. Haha, Soros District Attorney, how you doing? Busy with Trump case. We're not going to do criminals right now. I find this absolutely hilarious. I really do. So we're going to take a look at some of the backtracking that's having to happen after their propaganda, stupidity, and corruption has weirdly created problems. Now, I'll be the first to say there's been almost no problems that have been created through the mask mandates that don't really protect you from anything, but there's been no problems from these kind of things like shutting schools down for months and years. What problems? Kids growing up not being able to see people's faces and develop properly? What problem? Breathing bacteria for days at a time? What problems? No problems. But apparently this is the first problem that's happened out of their COVID policies. Let's see what this lunatic has to say.
See individuals on a subway being terrorized by individuals in masks. It's a cause for great concern. We have images of people.
By the way, you can see a criminal not wearing a mask on the screen.
With masks that almost cover up their entire face.
Because you made them do it. Actually, she didn't make anybody. She just told people to, and if they were obedient enough, they did. But she told people to.
It's impossible to find these perpetrators.
Mayor Adams is supporting the governor's possible ban, calling people who wear masks to harass subway riders and commit crimes cowards.
How are we going to do the college campus Palestine protests if we can't wear masks to effectively protest by concealing our identities? I don't know. It's almost like people would be forced to behave like civil people.
In our transit system, people have hid under the guise of wearing a mask for COVID to commit criminal acts and vile acts. And I think now is the time to go back to the way it was pre-COVID, where you should not be able to wear a mask at protests in our subway systems and other places.
Well, he's done a good job of creating Gotham City. Now, what happens if you brainwash a city into believing that covering their face is going to protect them from things that the mask won't protect them from? You're going to get a little backlash. Cut to Newsweek. Eric Adams' support for mask ban in New York sparks backlash. You think? If you were gullible enough and obedient enough to be on board from the get-go with, oh, wear this because we told you to, and then you're doing it for years, and then they're like, well, you know, don't do it anymore. Like, it's pretty entrenched in the neurology at this point. So, of course, they're going to get backlash. Let's check it out. Dr. Lucky Tran, Holy Lord, Pride Month name, I don't know, but sounds like it, right? This is New York. Dr. Lucky Tran took aim at Adams for his support while pointing toward the air quality and the need for masks, writing on X, the goal of New York City Mayor Adams to warn people about air quality and then push to ban masks, which is one of the best tools for protecting people from bad air quality. Now, I'm no scientist, but the particles in the air, they actually might be big enough to be filtered out by masks, unlike viruses. In another post on X, Lucky Tran wrote, many people, particularly those who are higher risk, are already locked out of society due to lack of public health precautions. Cool, this person's still doing COVID. That's great. A mask ban at businesses and public transport will make it even worse. We'll have a whole new pandemic, won't we? A mask ban is an ableist. Oh, I love that. This is a prideful person. They're celebrating hardcore this month. A mask ban is an ableist, anti-public health policy that will harm all New Yorkers. Literally all of them. This is a doctor. Won't harm some. It's going to harm all New Yorkers. I love them days of science. Couple stipulations. However, Adams said the ban should not include those who wear masks for medical reasons, adding that the ban would make it easier for the police to identify criminals. So if there's medical exemptions, which I assume is just like you say, I'm wearing this for medical reasons, that means that people that are doing COVID can still do COVID wearing their mask on a subway, which would also mean criminals that want to wear a mask to commit crimes can say they're wearing a mask for medical reasons. So another airtight public policy proposal. Now, I didn't realize this, but you can see here, New York passed a law in the 1800s that made it a criminal violation for groups of people to wear masks in public. Kind of makes sense. If you can't dress like a criminal by concealing your identity, it makes it harder to commit crimes. That makes sense. But that statute was suspended in 2020 by Governor Andrew Cuomo as part of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then Andrew Cuomo was suspended from his role as governor for being a creep. I am concerned. I understand they want to reduce crime in New York, but I am concerned about the guaranteed uptick in COVID that would happen if New York bans masks on subways. Because you can see right here from Fauci, who demanded everybody wear masks, and he demanded people wear 2 masks, and he didn't wear masks unless the cameras were on. Fauci, his own words, said in his emails that they tried to suppress but were uncovered. Fauci said masks not really effective in keeping out virus. So I don't know how we're going to fight COVID if we can't keep the virus out. I'm on board with mask mandate. We need to actually enforce this thing, guys. Now, before we get to people who are really still doing COVID and thinking masks are important and how would they freak out New York City, let's take a look at some mask and non-masking logic here. You not wearing a mask, says the guy with a mask below his nose, puts myself and my family at risk. This guy, who I identify with, your obedience to elite pedophiles, criminal government, pharma, cartel, corrupt media, and dark agenda puts myself and my family at risk. That is incredibly true. Now, somewhere where we like to visit from time to time on this channel is the Zero COVID community on Reddit. You can look at these posts. This one is from 2 days ago. This isn't from 3 years ago. Now, we'll get back to all the nonsense in a second, but first, I want to tell you about something that will actually protect you. The Bond Charge blue blocking glasses. You've probably heard that blue light at night is really negative for you. It comes from your screens, TVs, indoor lighting, and it tells your body it's time to wake up, but it's nighttime, so your hormonal system goes in the exact wrong direction and your sleep hormones get suppressed. Not good for sleep, but the blue blocking glasses protect you from the blue light, and I noticed for me, they make a dramatic difference in terms of the quality of my sleep, helping me get to sleep faster, and the next day I wake up way more rejuvenated with better energy. That's why the Bond Charge blue blocking glasses are a go-to in my nightly routine. I put them on about 2 hours before I go to bed because it works. It's one of the easiest, most effective things you can do to get better sleep so you overall feel and function better. And all Bond Charge products are HSA FSA eligible, giving you up to a 40% tax-free savings. To get yourself a pair of the Bond Charge blue blocking glasses, go to bondcharge.com/JPReacts and use the discount code JPReacts to get 15% off all Bond Charge products. Now, back to the craziness. Here's what this person says. Yesterday, my parents and I went for a picnic to celebrate Father's Day. That's bigoted language. It's non-birthing person day. We picked a nice spot far away from any other people and took our masks off to eat. Whoa, risk takers there. I made sure to unwrap a fresh new mask before we left for max protection, and almost as soon as I had set it down on the picnic table, I knocked my root beer over. This person's concerned with health. Like, I got root beer, but over, and I spilt a bunch of it in the mask. They go on. They're concerned they wasted a fresh new mask. And in the Zero COVID community, of course, they're getting active and pretty scared about this potential New York City mask ban on subways and businesses. And there's a call to action on how you can fight to literally fight for the mandate, not fight it, but fight the ban. In this post from 1 day ago, the headline says it all. I sometimes feel like the stress, hypervigilance, and isolation are worse for me than getting COVID again. It took me about 4 hours to come to this conclusion 4 years ago. It's taken this person 4 years to even consider it, but I have a feeling they're committed to their cause and they're going to fight through the temptation to abandon the stress, hypervigilance, and isolation. And one more. Do you ever worry that we're wrong despite what the science says? Remind me what the science says. Yeah, science said masks not really effective in keeping out virus. That's what science says.
Yes, science!
But nonetheless, let's go on. It makes no logical sense as I work in healthcare and know how research works. But it's an anxiety that pops up when I see everyone I know still living their life, being alive, and being totally fine. I'm not. I got COVID and now have MCAs and other mysterious letters. Where's the fairness, justice when I see people going to Vegas? Like, I want to see them dying so I can have a sense of justice for what I do to myself, the self-imposed restrictions that I impose on myself because I believe science. I want to see the justice. Where's the fairness and justice when I see people going to Vegas, flying, going to concerts, bars, dating, etc., and they don't seem to have anything physically wrong with them? Why can they still have a life and not me? Well, if I was Dr. Phil, I'd say, how's that working out for you? Maybe you could still have a life if that's what you choose. You don't hear too many people say, dude, I so regret not wearing a mask. And I so regret not getting the shot. But we hear a lot of people starting to regret wearing masks. We hear a lot of people regretting getting the thing that you can't take back. That's the latest, seeing tyrants run around in their own poop that they pooped into the garden of society. It's great. Will New York City actually pass this mask ban or not? I would sincerely say I do not care. I do not care. I don't go to New York City. They can do their own thing, but I do find it amusing. And then watching sheeple get confused and scramble and fight for the propaganda that the tyrants put into their mind, that now the same tyrants that they are fighting against. We have to ban the mask ban. Oh, it's great. We can at least get some amusement out of this, can't we? With that said, my freedom-loving friend, that's it for today's video. I look forward to seeing you on our next one. But until then, keep raw dogging reality with your face.